1, 2, 3, 1. Welcome everybody to Mom and Dad Talks, where our favorite two people are mom and dad, and we have Hantie. Don't worry, everybody. Mom and dad are safe. They're having issues with their computer, and hopefully that can get fixed at some point. But today we're going to talk about women dating younger men. So the demographic, about 34% of women ages 40 to 69 are dating younger men. About 1.3 of the opposite sex marriages involve women at least 10 years plus older than the man. 5.4% of U.S. marriages have a wife, to 69 years older than the husband. And dating apps such as 60% of women on OkCupid state they are open to men 5 years younger. 60% of U.S. adults view age gaps where women are older as acceptable compared to 75% for men older. So it's this interesting thing, you see this where 70% of Gen Z adults approve of female-led age gaps, the highest among any generational group, 45% of women in their 30s. And 65% of older women in such relations face social stigma from family members. So older women in these relationships report 10 to 12% lower cortisol levels. 85% of female younger male couples in the U.S. high emotional connection. And it just goes on. 18, lower cardiovascular risk for older women in these pairings. 10% lower life expectancy for men married to older women compared to the same marriages. And I can say, I've talked to some of my friends and they're frustrated. I said, dude, if you're looking for the traditional wife material, she's probably going to be older. And I'm 55. You're going to probably be 60 on up, 65 or older. If you want those kind of values. I'm not talking against the younger women. It's just that, Hantie, the way you all treat men, you know what I'm saying? Hey, dudes, younger dudes are liking, they're digging it. But give us your thoughts on that, Hantie.
What's my focal point now? I kind of lost
dating a younger man. You know what I'm saying? At this point, I don't want to give out your age and stuff like that because Hantie does not look her age, by the way. But that's
I'm not worried about that. But see, I was raised. Man should always be older than the woman.
Mm-hmm.
That's the way I was raised.
Right.
And since I've got 2 down already.
hey, you want the next one to bury you. You don't want to bury the next one.
I don't want to bury him. I can't see myself with the next one. That's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know that I want to.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's a whole lot that has to go into making a marriage.
I can see you dating a younger dude.
Dating a younger dude. By now he's gonna have to have money.
Yeah. For all the men out there,
I am not cheap.
Yes, you got to take care of my aunt, everybody. So don't be coming up there half stepping and begging. Don't be using as the sugar mom. You got to be the sugar daddy in this case.
And there's certain things that there's qualities that a younger man has to have in order for me to be attracted to him.
Okay, can we get some of those, Hantie? If a young guy out there wants to have an opportunity to date you, can we name some of those?
Some of those things?
Yeah, some of those things.
Okay, this was outward appearance.
Yeah.
He must have his shoes shined.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Hello.
Yeah, keep on going, Hantie. They're coming in. We're going.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, we can hear you, Dad. Perfect. Okay. Yeah. So Hantie, keep on going, and then we keep on rolling. But
okay. I have a neat appearance.
Uh-huh.
I don't mind blue jeans, but they must be coordinated. Even pressed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If that's the casual, if it's a casual occasion,
right.
Be neat in whenever you come out.
Mom, we can hear you. But yeah, and so the audience, for our audience out there, Mom and Dad just got in and they got a new device. They're still working it. And heck, that's some real good points right there, right? I mean, and there's certain things for younger dudes to understand when they date an older female, right? Um, there's just
Eh,
certain characteristics that you have to have. You know, I mean,
right. If he's gonna have the tennis shoes or whatever,
mhm.
don't be coming raggedy. That is not going to work with me. That
Yeah.
is one of my turnoffs. You know,
It-
if you can't be neat and clean about whatever it
mhm.
is, then you just keep strutting. Because I can't do that.
So
Um,
it
must have a car.
must have a car. Yeah, yeah, a car hopefully paid for, and a car that's running well.
Well, I'm not gonna get into the paid for. If you've got a car, you know, um, maybe I'll date you. I don't know.
Hantie, I'm going to step in here.
Can you
Brothers,
talk?
if you have a car dating my aunt and you're 10 years younger than her, I'm hoping the car's pretty much paid for, and I'm hoping that you're out of debt at this point. Okay?
Okay,
You know what I'm
it
saying?
don't have to be a Lamborghini,
You
but
have to be a Lamborghini, but you know what? You definitely can't be broke. You can't
yeah,
be asking her for money. You can't be, I mean, Hantie can take
you
care of.
got me on this.
And it can be a rental car.
Yes, definitely can't be a rental car because
Well,
no, no, no,
you know,
no, no. I'm
just
stepping in this one. No rental cars, brothers. It's got to be paid for. You got to have, you know what I mean, a nice retirement check. You know what I'm saying? No
Todd,
debt.
I'm not gonna get a date that way.
Well, we stepping in on this one because we Hantie's not gonna go date low at this point. If you're gonna date young, he's got to have it. So, Dad, and Mom, we're talking about older women dating younger men. What do you think about that, Dad?
Older women dating young men.
Mm-hmm. Because it's on the rise, and I have
That's
a
the
lot of.
subject tonight.
It's the subject tonight. I have a lot of talks with a lot of my friends, and they're frustrated with the younger ladies because they don't have the values that older women have. They expect them to cook, to
Uh,
clean, be neat. I mean, they want a woman to take care of, and they're not seeing. A lot of them are not seeing the women under the age gap, really do those kind of things, and they're frustrated. Um, what are your thoughts on that, Dad? And then I'm going to ask Mom a question. What were your thoughts, Dad?
I think it's very important that if you're dating, the age limit should be at least 1 to 2 years.
Hmm.
What do you mean? What do you
And
mean?
why is that, Dad? I'm
Do you
just
understand
curious.
what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Only
I'm,
1 to 2
Yeah,
years younger?
because what happens is that when older women date young men, the young men are not quite as mature enough to deal with an older woman.
but what about this age? But Dad, if they are, let's say, an older man, okay, I'm not going to give my aunt's age, but I'm just going to give a range, everybody. A man in his 60s dating my aunt, they better have their stuff together at that point.
Yes.
I mean, I can understand dating a 30-year-old. I can understand dating a 40-year-old. But when you in the 60s at that point, you better have your game together. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And the way I'm looking at, and from what I'm seeing the stats on, the stats say that lower cardiovascular risk for older women in these pairings that are 10 years younger and stuff like that. It's very interesting. Like I said, those are the stats. I'm just reading the stats and stuff. And I'm glad you say it because there is a stigma for older guys to look at, but the younger generations think it's great. You know what I'm saying? In fact, you see a lot of different pairings at that. I mean, but not like I said, my mom and dad are happily married. We're just asking mom her question at this point. And thank you, dad, for that input. But mom, older women dating younger men, and we're talking about your age group. Because at that point, you got a wide range.
my take on that is that it's a burden for a woman who is older than a man to try to have a relationship because a younger man he's restless and what have you. An older woman, she's ready to kind of sit back and
In a
But
rocking chair.
take it easy. So
but
I would not be. I wouldn't let myself be attracted to a much younger man.
But younger men are attracted to you guys.
I know.
You know what
I
I'm saying?
know.
And I see it all the time. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I
But
remember in school, my friends would try to hit on my mom and aunt. A little weird. No, that to me that age gap is a little too uncomfortable for myself and Carl. And we talked about this, and we actually had a radio show. We talked about it. Of course, Bonnie DeShong jumped on it. Let them alone. They grown, and we're saying like, but these are our friends. You know, this feels kind of weird. But you know, the point we're bringing out is that you're seeing this trend, um, and you see, and I'm just like I said, I'm just reading the stats on it. Like I said, you know, if it's 10 years younger than me, I don't have a problem with it personally because as long as they got their act together and treat you guys right and take care of you, you know what I'm saying? Not be broke, not do young boy stuff. I'm not talking about the 30 and 20-year-olds and the 40-year-olds. I'm talking about if you're 60 years old on up, you should have your act together at this point. And if you don't, just don't stop. You know, I know that I'm not trying to give you guys ages. Just know that. I'm just saying.
Why I wonder why a younger man would want to date an older woman.
Well, you know,
Is that a topic for another time,
you
or
know, that'll be
you want to get some feedback before you come on with it, or what?
Uh, you know, I'm looking that up right now, Hantie, as we're talking. 'Cause I think this is a really good topic because, like I said, um, basically, what the stats are saying, why young men date older women is a pattern that can be explained in a mixed things, right? Maturity, emotional stability. Older women often bring emotional calm, life experience, and established perspectives. So I have a friend at work. She's dating a guy younger, like 6 years younger than herself, and the social cultural norms, life stage and value alignment, that kind of thing there. There's also psychological needs, security and support. you know for some young men, dating older women can fulfill needs for emotional security, mentorship, or partner who's less
Okay,
likely to be in
emotional
a hurry.
security.
Yeah,
Okay.
and you see guys like, hey, you know what? Of course, you get the whole thing of the sugar mama thing, where a guy wants a woman to take care of them. We're not talking about that. We're talking about a dude that just likes to, hey, wants that security of dating. In fact, Kris Jenner, I think her husband's like 30 years younger or something like that, and they're still together. You know what I'm saying? That's a serious age gap and stuff like that. I'm not trying to go that far out, but I mean, it's kind of like this. If my dad dated a younger woman, it's not a stigma. And usually, usually, okay, we lost dad on that one. I mean, if something happened to my mom, I could see my dad dating a woman 10 years younger than himself.
No,
Uh-oh.
that's not going to happen.
Okay, good. It's good to know that, Dad. It's good to know that. And I can see people hitting on my mom, you know what I'm saying? And I know everybody's hitting on you, Hantie. So, but it's something that I don't want to think about, but it's something that you really have to understand like that. And we're having a discussion on it because it is out there and we want people to get the perspective. And this was actually a fun one tonight. So fun, mom went downstairs. But I mean, I think the audience, I think you got this because you do have the social stigma. You do have the kind of things that go along with it, right? But I'll put it like this. I've seen some women that are way younger than you look like they're 20 years older than you. Yeah, life has not been good. They kind of did life a little different. And that's the good graces of what God's taking care of you in the diet and everything that you had, Hanty. So, like I said, I'm glad God has kept you and my mom and dad because you guys do not look your age at all. Because if I told you their age, everybody'd be like, "What?" So, I won't hold everybody long, but I think it's a great discussion. But we got any parting thoughts on this? Because, like I said, and thank you, Hanty, for opening up, and thank you, mom and dad, for sharing. Because this is a discussion, and I get it a lot at work and stuff, and it's great to hear I'm seeing the trend a lot more often. You know, and you do have the thing of, hey, are they mature or whatever the case may be. You do have that part in there, but I just think it's an interesting discussion tonight.
Okay. Okay.
You know, Dad and Mount Hanty, you have any parting thoughts on this discussion?
Well, you either get on board or miss the train.
We know one. I'll put it like this before we get off. We know one couple who dated an older woman that you wanted to, you went to lunch with this week, and he is madly in love. Maybe not this week, but I just thought it was. Yeah, I've always thought it was really, really interesting. And like I said, for a lot of guys, it's a fascination, right? Especially for young guys in their teens and stuff. It's like it's a dream come true. It's a little different, because they don't know about life. But as you get older, I think it's just an interesting thing to bring up because, like I said, it is happening. Um, and like I said, I don't want my aunt to bury another person again.
Well, we know a pastor who married a younger woman, and so far it's working very, very well for him.
Yeah,
Very
very,
well.
very well.
The pastor married a younger woman.
Yeah. We won't name that. Yeah, we
I
know.
don't name his name, but
We don't have any names, but we know.
we know.
You know him too, Hanty, but we won't get into that.
A younger woman. Well,
yes.
That's what he's supposed to do, isn't it?
No, he's an older man. He's an older man, much older than she is. So it's age. It's the age barrier.
But it's working out well.
we were talking about the other way around.
Yeah, older woman dating a younger man, and that was interesting. So, but anyway, I think it's a great to folks. Put the comments in here and your ideas. I would love to hear your stories about your experience with older men, and primarily, I'm looking for the age gap 60 on up. For those people 60 on up, please share your experience. I'm just curious to know. What is it? What's it like? Because like I said, at that point, pretty much everybody's pretty much retired, maybe working a little bit or something like that. But I'm hoping you have it together. If not, we'll be praying about it. And we have other things to help your finance and stuff like that to move forward. So anyway, I think it's a great discussion. We'll see you next time on Mom and Dad Talk. Bye everyone.
Goodbye.
Bye.